Hello friend, welcome to Sunday. It is magical quilty May. And what day are we? We are on the 10th of May already. One of my friends had snow on the 8th. I forgot to mention that yesterday. It's like, really? I know some of you do. I'm planting flowers. I'm not ready for any snow, but it happens in parts of the world. So today, before we do the challenge, I want to show you my triangle box for the rainbow quilt, because the challenge part, I think I'll talk a little bit longer and I might forget. So I have 4 blocks, 2 of the tigers that I pulled them off of the childhood games. And turns out this yellow is, where's another piece? I have it hanging over here. I don't know if you can see that here, but it's a way different yellow. It's a little bit more green, but I don't care. I like that there's a lot of different shades of the yellow, although this one might go next to a green one. Is it yellow? Yeah, green's next. All of a sudden I had like what is the next color? Yes, it's green. So I have these, and then I pulled some of my veggie fabric that I had from years ago. Who doesn't love corn on the cob on your fabric? Of course. So I can get some more sections done now, or like that one section and starting of the next one. So I will be starting up above with this one here. So this one will be done, and then I'll start that one. So I'll be moving along like that. Okay, our challenge for today, should you take this challenge, is panel magic. Panels, see that on my wall? Yeah. Panels are incredibly useful in a lot of different ways. So first of all, the challenge of today, the base challenge, before I talk about it a little bit deeper, is to see if you have a panel. Do you own a panel? A lot of people will buy a panel that's a baby panel because they're easy. You just they've got a cute design in the middle, you put a border on it. Or not even a border. Sometimes it's big enough for a little wall hanging, or a baby quilt rather, for the baby. But there's lots and lots and lots and lots of panels. So first of all, go and see what kind of panels you have, because I have a little deeper challenge for you if you choose to take it. It will not be something you do in a day, but it starts with a panel. So I went and got a few current panels that are out there. Panels come and go, so like if you see them often, they don't stay around. But lately, the fabric companies have been doing digital printing of their panels. So that's nice because it's a different way of printing. It feels the same, but it's a different printing process, which allows them to reprint easier than the other way they do it. Who knew? That's one of the benefits. It also gives them, I do know this because I talked to Benartex, Thomas Kincaid, the painter. Well, they license his artwork to fabric, and Benartex was telling me that the only way that they can get that level of detail that is in a painting is through the digital printing, because the little color dots you get on the edge of the fabric, those are like, there's a maximum number of those. And so if you're doing something like with a lot of detail and a lot of different colors, it's not really possible to duplicate it so that it looks so much like the original. So that's where the digital printing excels at being able to recreate that for us into fabric. So what I did is I got a few panels that are still out there. So if you're watching this within a few days, you never know how long stuff lasts out there. So first of all, I got a more traditional panel, not a baby one. I didn't pick up a baby panel, but I got a more traditional panel to show you. This is a newer one, and it's from the Ruby Society. It has butterflies, because I'm like on that butterfly kick right now. This is so incredibly cool. Okay, I've got to move back a little bit. There we go. It comes in green. There you can see all the way to the bottom. This comes in white, and I think there was another color. They do have, I think, a pattern. There might even be a free pattern that tells you how, you know, like some patchwork to go around the outside for this. But this panel, I sort of like it as is. It's sort of long and skinny because I would want it for like to hang in the house. And I like that it can fit in a smaller space, that long, skinny part. And it has nice, great, big, huge butterflies or moss. I don't know what they are. But look at the blue one. Look at the color blue. This is fabulous. So I have this one that I got, which is Tiger Tails. And I'll link it. It's linked down below so you can get it. I don't know how long they'll have the panel part, but then there's companion fabrics. And I have a few pieces of those. I'll show you them. But really want to talk about these Hoffman Dream. Called the Hoffman Dream or Hoffman Dream Big. I thought it was Dream Big. And that is let me just show you what's on the wall first. Okay, let's zoom in. You have seen these. If you have not seen these yet, welcome to the world of Dream Big. Because these panels have been around for a little while. There you get a little closer look. I'll go zoom in there. They come in, I don't know, maybe 30 different colorways. There are also a couple of other formations now. There's one that's like leaves and some other stuff. The actual artwork was the designer, what is her name is on here, Jeannie. It started off with some photography she did, so that's pretty cool. So it came from some real photography and then became this artwork. But what people do is take this and use it for free motion quilting to practice, and they'll do incredible designs in each of those petals. And I have seen the finished quilts hanging in shows. They're not very big, as you can see. That's how big it is. It's not any bigger than that. Even if you see it in a photo, it's not any bigger. That's all the bigger the panel is, which is like 40 by 40 or something like that. It's for fit, you know, it's not real big. So they're wall hangings unless you do multiples of them. There are patterns where you chop them up and put them into things. But the brilliance of it is how people have been using it to do free motion quilting in the petals and all the different shapes and doing all the different ones and really practicing that skill. So I have a second one here, and I wanted to get two because I wanted a different colorway, and I wanted to show you what they're like. So here you can, I think on this one, you can really see how that looks like a photo in the middle, that intensity of the design. But if you've not seen the panels up close, here you go. So a petal is like, here's a petal like this shape right here, okay? And there's my hand. So the petal is about as big as my hand plus, you know, down my wrist a little bit. And this is where people will take this petal, like in this shape, and then just quilt some amazing design just in that. And then they'll go to the next petal over, like they'll shift. And then this petal will have its own super amazing design. And it's a wonderful size because this is only how big it is. I don't even have both my arms stretched out. You know, it's like, well, it's got to be 40 because this is how I measure like a yard. And so it's a little bigger than a yard, so it's 40, which is perfect for practicing free motion quilting. Dad, do you see where I'm going? It's a trick. I get you to think about practicing free motion quilting. Okay, so this is what I want you to do for your challenge today. 1, see if you have a panel. 2, decide, think, mull over. Would you like to have sort of an ongoing discussion about free motion quilting using panels? This means not everybody will have the same panel, unless we did the same panel, but everybody isn't ever going to want the same panel unless you did Dream, because you can get it in all different colorways. Now in my book, Teach Me to She and Quilt, I have a section in here. Let me get it out. Because I put all kinds of tips and things in here This is my becoming a better quilter in 5 easy steps. Becoming a better quilter in 5 easy steps. The number 1 step is practice on a panel. Well, that's kind of combined, but that is the gist of it. Practicing on a panel, so that if you have a panel, you then have like this, okay? So that you then have something to work around, versus if you just put a piece of fabric down, it's boring as heck to just go around some plain piece of fabric. You have no focus. Whereas if you were doing this, you have the tree and all the shapes that you're going around. If you're doing the dream, you would take a petal and then, you know, maybe pre-sketch out a design you wanted to do in it. You can look online and you can find lots of people have shared pictures of what they did. You could do them all very similar. You could change them up as you went along. Yes, panels. Panels are the key. So if you have my book, take a look at that section, and with the five steps to being a better machine quilter. It would be really interesting to walk through these. Maybe, you know, I don't know what you're going to feel like in June, whether you'll feel like doing some machine quilting, but tell me about that. Tell me in the comments, is that something that you would find somewhat interesting that you would want to do in June? Have some focus on that. So like at this, I might, I have to, to do the free motion, I have to set up multiple cameras, and because this is set up, the camera can't get over my shoulder to see unless I free motion on the Jubilant, which I could do a little bit of that because I don't have, anyways, that's technical stuff. What I want to know, I'm babbling. Okay, challenge today, find a panel. If you don't have one and you think that you want to do this and you want to practice on a panel, order a panel today, because it takes a little while right now to get stuff. And if you don't have my book yet, order that too when you get your panel. Down below is a link to the Dream panel, to the Tiger Lily panel, to my book, and to panels in general, so you can pick the panel of your choice. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on Sunday. These dailies. I'm liking the dailies. I am. I think they're fun. Okay, I love you, and I'm serious about wanting to know if you want to practice free motion quilting on a panel. Okay? Let me know. See you online.